Well, the forecast for today is 102 degrees, so a little bit cooler than our last ride, but still pretty hot. So it sounds like a great time to head for a beach. So here's Saguaro Lake and the Rolls, which is right next door. So we're going to take off and do roughly a 20-mile ride out and back round trip. Those little blue circles that you see off to the right, that is our goal. There's 6 beaches that we're going to try and make it to today before we melt. We'll see how that goes. If you're new to using Onyx off-road, I'm not going to go into detail today, but I may do a video on this in the future. But you see all those little waypoints up there, the teardrop shapes that have an X. I have different colors. The blue ones, of course, I said are for the beaches. And you give them names, you can put pictures to them. They are so useful. But anyway, the first thing I do is figure out where I want to go. And there's my beginning. That's the green dot for this ride. And then my destination. And then I make little waypoints in between, which makes it easy to connect the dots. So that's a rough idea. More at a later date. Let me know in comments if you really want me to do a video on how I map out these routes.
Villains. Pretty shiny. We're ready to go get them all dirty. It's 90 degrees right now. It's 8:20 and it's supposed to get to how hot today? 101, 104.
Yeah, not going to be over 100, not too much over 100.
And in case you guys don't recognize, that's Larry.
All right, so we're pretty excited. We're heading out for quite an adventure. Can we make it to 6 different beaches? If we can, that's going to be awesome, because I know at least 3 of them are absolutely stunning. And we've been to a variety of them. First thing we encounter, though, is a sign that says you need a permit, and there is a link in the description, of course, plus 1804. Hey, that's how we're getting out of the parking area. Well, it's a Monday morning. It's 8:20 when we left the parking area. There's absolutely nobody here. On a weekend, do not drive like I'm doing right now, because there will be people around every corner. Knowing there's no one here, I get to have a lot of fun and do it safely. And these dirt trails with the bank turns, man, are they fun. And of course, it doesn't take long before we hang a left and start up a climb to our first ridge. 1804, 1805 come together up there. This is a great way to start the day. Now, Onyx rates this 1804, 1805 trail as a 4 out of 10. And this climb, plus the descent that's going to come up here in a moment, that's the reason. Most of it is super easy. You're talking 1 or 2 at most. But if you're new, this is going to look a little exciting for you. Do it a couple of times, it'll just be fun. A couple of years ago, I didn't have a side-by-side. I did have a Jeep. And Robin, my wife, wanted to explore off-road. Well, it turned out she really wanted to do sightseeing, not adventure. But our neighbors, who were very experienced Jeep drivers off-road, brought us out here and down this very trail. And I had to have Robin get out of the vehicle and shoot video because it was scaring her half to death. Now, my butt might have been puckering, but I just saw them drive through it, so I knew we could do it. It's a lot more fun in the day. So 1863 is a lot of fun down here in the canyon with soft sand, but it quickly turns up into some hills and climbs and views, which is even more fun. I always love the views from any of the ridge tops out here in the desert. They're just amazing. But look at all the trails out. While we tend to go on a lot of the same trails, at least in the beginning, it doesn't take long before we'll get trails we've never been on before. And we've been out here a bunch. So far, all of our ups and downs have been pretty easy. I don't think anything's more than a 4 at this point. But you just stay tuned. There's some surprises even we weren't expecting. When I'm pausing at intersections like this, I'm usually looking at Onyx on my tablet, which gives me an 11-inch screen, to try to figure out which trail I want to take at this point. Another reason I might stop here is to make sure the person behind me knows which way I went. If you're traveling with a larger crowd, this is where you do the hopping. So you stop, you wait on the person behind you, and when they show up, they stop, you get to take off. They wait for the person behind them, and then they take off, and you repeat the pattern until the last person goes through. Nobody gets lost this way. Another reason for pulling over anywhere is to take in the scenery or drink water. Remember, it's hot out here. Drink plenty of liquids. You do not want to dehydrate. The climbs and descents are definitely getting steeper. In the intersections, there's trails going in so many different directions. I am becoming one with the GPS. Now it's a sandy wash pretty much all the way out to the water. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can just fly through here when nobody's around, but there are rocks that every now and then, if you don't see it, you could cause serious damage. So pay extreme attention, especially if you're going to go fast. Of course, there are so many intersections down here, it's crazy. But as long as you stay in the wash, you're going to wind up in water. It's called a drainage. So this is our first cove of the day. We made it here. We're still feeling pretty strong. But I don't know why. It just feels really hot to me today, even though it's not that hot. Maybe it's because this makes 3 days in a row I've spent quite a bit of time out in the heat.
All right, we made it to the first cove, and we've been here many times. And we talked about going up that little hill over there, but it looks very steep. And then we found out at the top there is a road, but there's nothing on the other side. So if you go up there, you got to make a left or a right pretty quick. If you go right, it just goes right out there and dead ends. And it's pretty tight to get turned around. But this is a great spot. And this is where we met a young fellow with a quad, and we didn't know he'd been drinking. And he decided he would go up there. And he actually made it. Yes, that cross you see under the tree, that's not for him. He was fine.
After a very short break, we headed back out the way we came, and we attempted a couple of shortcuts that should have gotten us over to the second cove we're looking for. Unfortunately, everything was way steeper than I felt comfortable with today, and Larry said, no problem. So we had to backtrack quite a ways to find another trail that would bring us down. Of course, Onyx has lots of trails. You just got to find the one that gets you to where you want to go comfortably. And here we are in a wash again, and a nice easy ride right on down towards the water. As I'm pulling into the second cove, I'm taking in the scenery. It is pretty nice, and it's probably 97, 98 degrees by now. So it's looking really good, but I want some shade. So as I circle around, I pull up into the trees and realize that's a dead end. So I back up and look over here. There's a nice wall of shade and room for Larry to park right behind me.
An hour and 10 minutes after we started, we made it to the second cove. We did not do it by the shortcut that I had mapped out, though. That turned out to be a little more intimidating than I was willing to climb.
Well, our break was a little longer than we should have taken, and I think it's going to come back to bite us later. Anyway, we headed out the same way we came in. I wanted to take a shortcut to get over to the third beach, but I'm having a problem going up inclines today, so it looks like we're going to take a slightly longer route. Just means more fun as we go. We've been down this hill before. We've never spent any time down at this beach, which we're going to do today. But there's a left side and a right side. As you're going down, the left side is the roughest. It's got lots of potholes, very loose, very steep. Well, it's downhill. I'm okay with downhill today. Let's check it out. Well, that was a fun ride down. Extra slippery today, and those holes have definitely gotten steeper. But still, nice easy downhill. And look at the beauty in front of us. This is a great beach. But once I make the turn, look at how people have trashed it. What's wrong with these people? You brought it out here, take it home with you. We're going to have to get together with some people and do a cleanup here.
All right, we found cove number 3. And we've been here before, but we just came down, did a quick turnaround, and went right back up because it was the end of the day. Today, we're on a mission. Now, if I get over here in time, we'll be able to see Larry come down this hill. That is a steep and bumpy hill. And slippery. I was sliding quite a bit coming down there. There's a smile on his face.
Well, we had lunch here, and I think we have taken too many breaks. Larry's looking like he's ready to head for home. I'm hoping we can do at least one more of the 6 beaches. That would be 4, but I don't know. Let's get up this hill. Now, you may have noticed I came down looking up the hill. I came down on the right. This time I'm going up the left because I know that's slippery and got big holes. The ride over here on the left is going to be a whole lot easier, and then I can get down and take video of Larry coming up. Larry agreed to do the right side going up, which is the slippery, rutted, the fun side. And you'll see he had quite an adventure getting up here. This is a normal speed. I'm going to show you slow speed here in a second. He almost got me with that thing. Now there's a big hole that his driver's rear wheel is going to go into when he backs up. But if he keeps going forward, it looked like he was going to flip over backwards. So he doesn't have much choice. And this isn't a great choice, but he handles it like a pro. Let's watch this again, but in slow motion, so you can get a better idea of what Larry is doing behind the wheel. Remember, this climb is loose, steep, and lots of deep holes. Now, he's on the throttle, kicking up a lot of dust behind him, lots of power here. Then the wheels start falling into holes and leaving the ground. Larry's working hard to maintain control. Then he gets pushed, and it really knocks him off course. He's correcting, doing a great job, but look what happens. That was so close. He almost rolled. Keep in mind, I picked this location, so I had an escape route in case I needed one. It took Larry a moment to determine the safest way to proceed. So going forward, I think that's an extreme possibility of rolling over backwards. So instead, he decides to roll backwards into that big hole. The driver's rear tire is going to drop in. It's going to be a very tipsy moment. One wrong move, and it's rollover time. Notice how he turns into the direction of the roller. This may seem contrary to what you imagine, but that's keeping it from flipping. Turning the wheels to the passenger side like he's doing right now, he would have flipped earlier. Now he's under full power, and he's out of there. And it's looking pretty impressive. I love watching all that dirt coming out of the back end. And just like that, he's safely up the hill. The things Larry will do to help me make an entertaining video. Thanks, Larry.
So we're safely on the ridge, heading off towards the point where we can hang a right and head for beach number 4, enjoying the views and the fact that there was no accident back there. That was a close call, but Larry does have skill, and I took the easy way, so it wasn't an issue for me at all. But we're talking, it's getting late. It's like 11 o'clock already, and it's going to take about an hour to get back to the parking area. That makes it noon. We decided, instead of going to beach number 4, we were going to head on back. Now, it seems like every time I'm out here on the way back, me and the GPS have a problem. There's so many trails, which I easily find my way through on the way in, but not so much on the way back. Well, eventually I make a couple wrong turns. Next thing you know, we're down at the Butcher Jones gate, which is locked. That is not an access for us. Used to be, but not anymore. So, eventually, Larry said, follow him. And I said, okay, good idea. And then we got back to where my sense of direction and the GPS came together, and I got us out of the rest of the way. But before I went back to leading, Larry did find a number of trails. Some I don't think we've been on before, or if we have, we don't remember. And they were quite fun. We definitely had a good time on the way back. I do want to mention here, even though it sounds like we may be lost, no, we're just on the wrong trail. Still got the GPS in front of us. We can see all of the various trails. It's just what's the shortest, easiest way, or the most fun way to get to where we want to be. So at no point are we lost out here.
Well, that's it for this recording. Use the comment section below if you want to share your experience at this location, or maybe recommend an area that you really enjoy. Please keep it clean. I want this to be a family-oriented channel, so review what you type before you submit it. Thanks. I apologize if you happen to hear something during the ride's recording that may not sound family-oriented. I will try very hard not to let certain words slip out during an exciting moment. We'll see how that works. If you found this video helpful or just enjoyed it, please hit the like button below. Share the link with your friends. Be sure to subscribe so you can easily keep up with my latest videos, which will continue to cover things like Segway villain owners' area of interest, reviews of accessories, where to ride, tips about the villain, how-to videos, and lots more. Yep, there's going to be more. Thanks for watching.
So, Larry with the villain, what do you think about the rolls today? Did you have fun? Would you do it again?
You know, we've been out here many times, and every time has been different. Yeah, today was a tad bit different. Kind of slipped on the one hill. I kind of almost went over, but I think I saved it. Yeah, I saved it.
You definitely did.
It's a good time coming back and being able to go home in one piece.
And the villain's still in one piece, which is a bonus.
And if I'd have been in anything else, I think it would have gone over.
It was definitely a close call. But this is a place where you and I think, this is easy riding.
Every time we go out, we always manage to find something a little bit different. Like today coming back home, well, after my little miscue, which makes for great video. I will be signing autographs later. We took a different way coming home. Totally different. Some decent and pretty cool hills going up and down. So yeah, every time we come out, we find something different to hit. So anybody who tells you a place is boring, don't listen to them.
They haven't been looking.
They haven't been out to Sycamore Creek. It's just tons and tons of roads. This one out here may not be as much as Sycamore, but I'll tell you what, you can still find some challenging things to do.
And I don't know what happens, but on the way back, there's all these ridges and valleys, and it seems like the GPS I'm using on X, and invariably it decides to go north, which totally screws me up. I want it to be direction of travel, so I know left from right. So of course I got lost out there for a while. I mean, you can't stay lost.
So I just look up where the sun is and start heading.
Well, as our friend Dean said, this is the parking lot hill, so aim for it.
Well, I know heading heading west, I'm either going to get here or I'm going to hit Bush Highway. There's no two ways about it. One or the other, I'll find my way home.
And of course, we found our way down one trail, just having a blast, and that was Butcher Jones. Guess what? It's blocked. You're not allowed to go out Butcher Jones or in.
Oops.
So, a Yui. Anyway, that was enough fun for one day. It's hot. I'm going home.
Did I scare you though, Ed?
He tried to kill me. I got video proof.
No, I wasn't even close to killing you.
All right, that's it for today.